And we're live. Welcome to the X Bearded Podcast, episode 5. I think we're going to call this one the censored one, or aka the one with Callum from the Bald Viking. Welcome, Callum. How you doing, man?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, mate. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a little while. We've had a little break from the X Bearded Podcast, but we are back. And obviously, we are here with Mr. Beard Tings himself, Andy Black. Andy,
what's up,
how you
guys?
doing, man?
Oh, good, mate. You?
Yeah, mate. Good. You've been a little bit quiet recently. You've been busy.
Been really busy. Yeah, new job during training, so I'm just mad busy, but starting to come back into it now. So yeah, back on the ball.
yeah. Obviously, your Instagram's been a little bit quiet, but I've seen you starting to creep up again. Obviously, we've got the WhatsApp chats, sort of ambassador ones, private ones as well.
Yeah.
It's just sort of been quiet all the way through, not just from yourself, but I think as a whole, lockdown is starting to impact everyone. Everyone's sort of going back to work, the community and the economy is slowly starting to build up again. And I think in general, everyone's just finding it a little bit hard to sort of.
No, I agree. You can see it. You can see everyone's just, it was great during lockdown. I mean, that's the reason I started the whole business. It was, during lockdown, I had loads of time in my hands. I needed to do something, and it's something I always wanted to do, but I never had the time. So now everyone's getting back to work. It's not just myself. You can see it with everyone. Like everyone's posts have just gone down a little bit. But yeah, it's time management, isn't it? But getting there.
Yeah, Callum, how you been finding things with the lockdown? Are you finding your time again, or what's going on?
Yeah. Lockdown was beautiful for me. I loved it. I did nothing pretty much. I still worked. I worked through it. Being a detention officer, obviously, we can't just get stopped with that. I just on my rest days and that, I just sort of sat at home and got fat. That was it. Now the lockdown's been released, I've got a baby, so I'm still in lockdown, kind of.
Yeah. To be fair, my lockdown last year pretty much consisted of barbecues most days. I was furloughed for sort of a couple of months, so it was just barbecues, beers, and just sun. And unfortunately, sort of this time now, I'm sure you lot have probably seen, but I bought myself a hot tub thinking, you know what, it's going to get sunny again. Hopefully I might get furloughed. No, the business is booming. So my hot tubs are going on about 8:30, 9 o'clock when the kids are in bed and I'm sort of just relaxing by myself. But yeah, so right, let's have a look, see who we've got with us in so far. So Mark, unfortunately, has commented he's not going to be able to be live with us. He's going to be driving, but he's either going to catch the end of it, or I'm sure he will watch the repeat on YouTube. Or remember, we are on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and about 5 or 6 different other ones as well. I can't even remember. But yeah, so once again, you can watch them all through that. We have got Nez with us as well. Nez, thank you for joining us, man. And as always, my first question is always going to be, what are you drinking tonight, gents?
Go on, Andy.
I've got a plastic wine glass, but it's actually vodka and Coke. So I'm having that. I'm a little bit fragile from yesterday, so this is actually helping me out.
I'm on my favourite, pretty much the only thing I drink, Southern Comfort, and Coke Zero, actually, because I can't be fat.
I'm on the fat Coke. I'm having my cheat day today. We had a chicken korma and jalapeno pizza.
Jalapeno pizza?
Yeah. Chicken korma and jalapeno pizza. So it's chicken korma on the pizza.
Korma on the pizza as well? Sick.
Yeah, it was fucked up. It was nice though. It's good.
Yeah, next thing you're going to tell me you have pineapple on that as well.
Oh man, I love pineapple on a pizza.
Oh my god, he's a weirdo, isn't he? But yeah, so
it's going.
So let's get into it. Obviously, Callum, the Bald Viking. Where did it come from? Why'd you do it? What's the origins behind it, man?
Pretty much the same as everyone. Before I started, I didn't know how big the beard market was. I thought it was just a few places doing some beard oils and beard balms and that. I tried quite a few, and then the one that I stuck with for a while, I was buying them for about a year or so. It's a little company. I think it's called Viking Beer Company or Viking Beer Co. I want to say they're Yorkshire based. Just sort of 10ml bottles and like 15ml balms. Was using them, very basic stuff, but they were the best that I'd tried at the time. I wasn't aware of it all on Instagram, so I didn't know any other bigger ones. So then I just started wanting to make my own. Got cracking. Business plan was non-existent. Had nothing. Just cracked on. Started making some 10ml bottles. 1 cent. I started with the Forest of Valhalla. That was it. That was pretty much how it started. I remember I reached out to a couple of people when I started realizing how big the market was. One of them was Tom Cogger's Corner. I reached out to him asking for a review, and one of the first things he said is, "Have you got a CPSR?" I said, "The fuck is that?" I had no idea. He then said, he told me everything about the CPSR. I said, "Yeah, you need one of them." And that's when I was like, right, shit, I've got to stop now. So I sort of stopped everything, took the time to get the CPSR, and then rebranded from 10ml bottles to the 50s I got today. And obviously now I'm up to 6 cents. Been slow going, but I got there.
Why Viking? Why the Bald Viking? What's that?
Bald is a bit obvious. I don't know. Again, I didn't know how saturated the market was. I didn't know about all these different Viking companies out there. So, I thought I want to stand out and everything. Trying to think of a name. I was going through quite a few options, and I kept coming back to the Bald Viking, and I liked that. I had my logo designed around it. That's pretty much where that came from. I've always liked Viking stuff. I'm not religious or I'm not pagan or anything like that. So I just enjoy all that stuff.
Cool, man. Because how long have you been running for now?
It was 2 years, 10 days ago.
Nice. Was that pre-CPSR or post?
That was from the CPSR. So the date I came out with my first 50ml, that was safety reported proof. Yeah,
because your product has got the castor oil and sweet almond oil as your carrier blend, isn't it? Yeah. So it's relatively simple, but it's extremely effective, because I've done a review for yourself a little while ago, and it's very surprising sort of how thick it is. It's sort of in this category which me and Andy classify as thick with a THI double C. Yes, but yeah, it's something which it just surprisingly works well. I mean, Andy actually sort of had your product first, and sort of Andy was always the one who said to me, "Dad, look at this. I mean, Andy, obviously you want to talk about it a little bit more about the Bald Viking and your experience.
Yeah, man. It was back when we were doing beer to bear reviews, reviewing stuff, and Callum, we started chatting. You sent me a couple of yours. You sent me, was it Forest of Valhalla and Berserkers Rage? Is that yeah, Berserker Rage. I absolutely loved it. It's still one of my favourite beard oils. I think it's good. I love it. I love the 50ml, but it's just my favourite thing is that just thickness. It's the first time I'd ever tried anything with castor oil, and I think it's still the thickest oil I've ever used, and it just works. It's great. I think it's really good for winter time. I love them in the winter. They just keep it, especially when it's windy and that. It just keeps it all locked in. And yeah, and that Berserker's Rage scent. What's in that again?
There's neroli, mandarin, and lemon.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like warm, really powerful. But yeah, they just smell great. I mean, me and William were out. We did some axe throwing videos. For your, yeah, for your. Yeah, but no, it's awesome stuff, man. I love the branding. I really like I like it how it's the Bald Viking. It's a bit different, but it's personal. It's like a personal touch for you. It's got the red beard. It's the Bald Viking. It's brilliant. I think you've got to have a brand that kind of is part of you. Like you're part of your brand, and your brand's part of you. So everything you do, every time you talk, and every time you do any marketing, it's just organic, which is one of the things I love about the Bald Viking. I think it's brilliant.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
See, Scott's asked, how did I decide on the base oils? As Andy just said about my logo and the name is personal to me. It was the same with the oils. I didn't have, again, I wasn't on Instagram with it at that point. I didn't know about the beard market, so I couldn't really reach out to people and say, like, can you try this? I think I still am like one of my mates, like of all people I know, like my friends, that actually has a beard. So it's not like other people could try it out. So I was my own guinea pig. I went through so much carrier oil. I ordered like argan, avocado, jojoba, castor, sweet almond, some other funky little ones. Trying different mixes for ages. Every one that basically all the ones I didn't like, I realised didn't have castor in it. So I knew that I liked castor. Then eventually whittled it down over time to just castor and sweet almond oil, and I found that that's what worked the best in my beard. Even adding, I think I was deciding between what I've got now or what I've got plus, I think it was argan. It was a little bit of argan, but it brought it a little bit on the thinner side. And I like the thick oil in my beard. It worked well. My beard's quite thick and it soaks stuff up. So thinner oils just don't tend to last for me.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. It's a basic one. It's probably the most basic carrier blend in the market.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not.
There's someone with one.
There is, yes. Yeah, so the Infernal Beard Company.
That's one.
Yeah, they only have, I believe, sweet almond oil as their only ingredient. So you're not, you are one of the few with quite a basic blend. But yeah, it is what it is. I tell you one thing which I actually forgot to do. It's probably because we haven't been here in such a while, and I've completely forgot how to do things on a podcast. We never done our shout outs, which obviously this is imperative for the Expedit podcast. The whole idea behind it is to try and talk about the community, other companies, and just people in general. It doesn't have to be a company, it can be absolutely anyone. So Callum, we're going to go with your shout out. Is there anyone, or is there a couple of people who you want to make sure they get a voice sort of on the podcast?
Yes, I've got two. Scott's comment as well, favourite other companies, is one of my shout outs, and it goes to a Tartan Tail beer company run by Connor, if anyone's heard of him. Fucking brilliant sense. He's got 4 at the moment. The latest one just came out, berry picking. It's amazing. You need to try it.
Yeah.
Thick oils as well, like mine, really good. But yeah, he's one of my favourite companies. I always end up going through his oils. The other shout out is to Odin's Vision. Not a big company, more of a clothing company. He does other bits as well. He was just a website shop, an online shop. He's now got a bricks and mortar shop as well that he's opening in Gloucester anytime soon. He's also going to be stocking my oils, everything else I bring out, and he wants to stock some other beard care as well. So he's sort of getting in the community too.
Lovely, brilliant. Andy, is there anyone which you want to have a quick shout
so
out?
First of all, literally everyone in the Bearded Villains, because I think you saw me like about 2 weeks ago, 1.5 weeks now. I've got my patch, so that's me in the BV. So yeah, big shout out to all the Bearded Villains, and then also shout out to Chris Barnes. So if you go on Instagram, go to Claymore Personal Training. Chris is going to be, well, he's been training for ages. He's got his first strongman competition coming up. Epic beard. He's going to be supporting my stuff. So big shout out to Chris over at Claymore Personal Training.
Lovely, very nice. And I've actually got 2 myself. So my first one is actually going to be Mark McDowell, who is commented earlier. Unfortunately, he's not here at the moment. So he's driving and he's being sensible, and he's not going to have the sun in the background. But Mark is currently he's doing his own company at the moment called Newlands Grooming, and he's gone to me and a few other guys sort of within the community asking for feedback on his product before he goes CPSR and gets it released, which I think is just fantastic, that he's sort of going to company owners as well, not just sort of individuals within the community, actual company owners, and asking for their help, asking for support. And everyone's coming back to him and going, yeah, you know what, this is right, or this is wrong. Obviously, I don't know the feedback which has gone back altogether, but everyone's sort of really happy to help. So for me, yeah, Newlands Grooming and Mark from there. And my second shout out is actually for Jason, who's just tuned in from Beard Manners himself. So I literally dropped a review for Beard Manners at 7 o'clock this evening, a couple of hours ago. And sort of all the way throughout the process, I've been very involved with Jason. He's just been a really nice bloke to talk to. Always sort of just dropping messages, asking for help, asking for advice, and sort of I've had a couple of conversations with him just in general, and it's just a pleasurable experience. And I dropped the review for him today, and literally within sort of 5 minutes, sort of once the review was done, sort of a message come back thanking me. Obviously very, very happy with the review and sort of how it's gone, which for me is great, because obviously as a reviewer, I know company owners get nervous sort of about having a review, but it's just as nerve-wracking for me, because I want that feedback as well, make sure that I haven't made any mistakes or sort of anything which has gone wrong. So it's just been such a pleasurable interaction. And Jason he's there, he's in the middle of the community, he's trying to be there, sort of obviously like yourself, Andy, and like Callum, he's trying to be there in the middle of everyone and just offering that advice to everyone. And for me, that's fantastic in a company. It's what I want to see. I want to see people get involved rather than sort of isolate themselves away from each other and just be there for a bit of money, if you know what I mean. Actually be there for the community.
It's just funny stuff. Like recently, I've started to notice on the WhatsApp group, someone will share a post of like a product from another company. I'm starting to know I'm getting blocked by some other companies, which is quite funny. But companies I've never even spoke to. I've never spoke to them, never tried the stuff or anything, but for whatever reason they've blocked me. But then I was like, why? Not that much of a cunt, am I?
Wow.
Debatable.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is something which does arise, and yeah, me and Andy, we've had that a couple of times, and I don't think we're too outspoken. I mean, not as outspoken as what Callum can be to some of the Instagram people who post on your stuff. I mean, saying, was it promote us, DM us, and we'll give you, and sort of you can have this and that. I mean, yeah. I mean, there was a comment today, not today, the other day on the first post which we put out about the Expedited podcast of yourself coming on, and it was someone who was like, DM us, obviously be our ambassador, whatever. And your comment was, I believe it was, suck penis.
Suck a penis.
Suck a penis. Sorry, I stand corrected. Which is something for me I find hilarious, because you're not forward, you're not backwards in coming forwards with regards to them. Where's your professional manner in this? Why does it disappear?
Because I keep getting them on my posts, and it's really fucking annoying. Any sort of, I mean, most of them are bots. Some of them are just ambassadors for pyramid schemes and things like that. And it just piss me off. Just really piss me off. I mean, even on my personal Instagram, I mean, I think, I'm not even sure how they work. I think they all work on hashtags. They just search it and then just go spam every post with that. So if I put up a picture of my son, and I put like a hashtag baby boy or something, I've got like, I think I had like 7 people from like 1 different company saying about message us to get him on their page and get him modeling and stuff. I was like, you need to fuck off. You sound like a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
And I was messaging them one by one, And then in the end, I ended up fucking reporting the page, and I even went to the website and emailed the owners. I was like, "You all need to fuck off right now."
Yeah, exactly.
That's the good thing about having a, you know, like kind of like a one-man brand, isn't it? Is you can be real. You don't have to think about HR and, you know, thinking about the kind of image of the company, because you are the image of the company. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. It's great. You can just talk some shit to people. No problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
If my company was the Bald Gentleman,
yeah, might be a bit different.
Please stop spamming my posts.
Yeah. I mean, it's something, as you said, Andy, when you are the one person, I mean, you can get away with doing like cookhold memes to big brands and stuff like that. I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, I don't know who would do that.
I mean, we've got a few comments coming in. We have got Tony, the bearded Brit, in with us today. Tony, thanks for coming in, man. We have, where are we as well? Hey, Ron?
Say it.
Aaron.
I'm going to say the H is silent and it's Aaron.
Aaron, there we go. What is the H silent in the second one as well?
Aaron Wharton.
There we go.
Aaron Wharton.
Aaron, thanks for joining in, man. We also do have with us Martin. Martin is my VP for the Rebellion. So obviously we're going to be talking beard clubs at one point or another. Maybe not this podcast, but one day we will. But yeah, Martin is my VP. I don't know what that picture is all about, Martin. I'm going to have to DM you privately and talk about that. But yeah, Martin, thanks for joining in with us today. And who else have we got as well? Just Jason, just laughing from Beer Bank. Look at that. Do you know what I said in my review? I used the term gentleman regards to Jason as loosely as possible. Because the reason why is because he's half mountain, half beast. He literally has more muscles in his pinky finger than I do in my entire body. Do not go on his profile page just because you will feel extremely inferior. He sends me private messages and he was talking about me in a hot tub because I love a selfie in a hot tub at the moment. I admit to that. And I just said to him, whatever you do, do not buy a hot tub, because him in a hot tub will just be getting like 10,000 likes. It's just ridiculous.
That'll be your OnlyFans dreams out the window then, won't it?
It is pretty much. I can't deal with the competition, unfortunately. So yeah. So obviously moving forward. So Callum, regards to you and your company, you've got something coming out very, very soon, hopefully. So talk to me. What is it which we're dropping?
Right, big reveal time. My butters, I've been talking about them for a fucking long time, and I do apologise to everyone because I've just been talking about them for a long time. You've seen nothing. They were a long time in the old thought process. Now it's been a long time in the making. Now it's a long time in the CPSR stage. I did get the okay the other day, saying that the chemist has said they're all good. I've got to wait for the final report to come back first before I start doing the labels properly, because they might say that there's a certain warning you got to put on there, and I don't want to waste a lot of money on labels. However, my butter, Docs has tried it. He was gracious enough to do you were my guinea pig, weren't you? One of my 9 or 10 guinea pigs. It's called heavy butter. It's not your standard butter. It's not light and creamy. That just it doesn't really work on my beard. Again, this is a product I've made for my beard that I'm hoping will work for everyone else. It's the same as my oils. It's a lot thicker, a bit harder. Not harder. It's hard to explain it. You couldn't really describe it either, could you? Yeah,
it's. I think one of the descriptions which I gave you was it's kind of like a melted marshmallow. It's sort of a little bit tacky, not tacky, but sort of it has that sort of tendency to sort of feel a little bit sticky, sort of as you put it in. As you say, it is heavy. It sort of has got a nice weight about it, which on the same side of it gives you a nice sort of hold when it's sort of within your beard. So once again, it continues with the theme of being thick for you and your brand, which for me is all about consistency all the way through. And yeah, it's just something which I haven't experienced in a butter yet, which is going to be really, really interesting to get the general consensus feedback of the community in general, obviously once it goes on sale, because as I said, at this point in time, everyone's doing these amazing whipped butters which have been whipped 20 times and they're so fluffy and it's amazing, but this is almost the complete opposite. So is it whipped or is it's not poured, is it?
It's a little bit of both. There is whipping in the process, and then I suppose it's sort of left to sit. It's like whipped, spoon in there, left to sit. It looks more like a poured butter when you're looking at it.
Yeah,
but you can tell there is some volume to it. I forgot what I was going to say. No. As you said, I've made it to give a bit of hold while moisturizing a lot. Now, it's not like some people will bring out their products, they'll call it a butter, it's got wax in it. It's not fucking butter. It's a butter, right? Stop being a cunt. It's only butter and oils. So that is it. Heavy butter is designed to give your beard a bit of a hold, enough to keep it styled nicely, while moisturizing it for as long as possible. My lovely willing guinea pigs, most of the feedback was saying they put it on at night, they wake up in the morning and it's still pretty much all there. It keeps it moisturized as long as possible. The scents will be the same as my oils, so the same 6, and I'm doing it in 60 mils. It is a lovely product, I must say so myself. And the reason I wanted to do it different is because I could have brought out a nice, light, whipped, fluffy butter. Yeah, great, but it's the same as everyone else's, and I'll just sort of sink to the bottom. No one's going to give a fuck. If I bring out something different, it gives people a chance to try something different. If you like your light and fluffy butters, cool. There's plenty of companies that will want to take your money, and that you should give your money to. If you want something different, I'm your guy.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. This is something which is very, very different. And I mean, from the samples and testing which I've got so far, definitely, I think people should be jumping aboard when it comes. Andy, we've got a quick question from not a question, from the bearded Brit. He said the seat looks quite uncomfortable. What's going on?
Next question.
I literally just replied to him.
Or is it piles?
Or is it the piles? Yeah, probably, mate. It's not really piles, hemorrhoids, but no, I'm at my missus' house. I'm on her in a spare room on her bed, a spare bed. So, and I've got for me to get. I don't have my stand for my camera, so basically I've got a poker briefcase, then I've got a laundry basket, and I've got my laptop, my phone on top of my laptop. So it's like it's all balanced. I can't move around too much, or it's all going to collapse. So.
I think this is something which I've sort of brought up on virtually every single podcast so far about Andy's professionalism when it comes to the podcast. There are certain things which goes on, and there are chats which happen after the podcast, which we won't talk about. But yeah, there are certain things. Just watch Andy closely at times during the podcast, and I'm sure you'll notice things which progress.
Go in the background.
Yeah, well, all the front or underneath or whatever. Yeah. I tell you what I do want to jump onto is a couple of quick fire questions for you, Callum. So just let loose, don't think about it too much, and let's just go for it. I tell you what, right? So your first one, what's your favorite looking brand? Just branding, forget about the product. What's your best looking brand?
That's hard. I really don't know.
No one which catches your eye. No other Vikings, no other, I don't know, pirate themes. Is there anything out there which you go, you know what? Actually, I quite like that.
I'm going to say again a tartan tail because it is quite eye-catching. He's got the blue bottles. He's got the nice, simple labels. with his.
He's changed the ribbon now, hasn't he? So he's got a different type of ribbon for each scent. It looks brilliant.
Ribbons which sort of match the scents, like the colour that he's got for the scent. Yeah. They stand out really good. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony's just tried to say that he's going to be a cop out, but no, you've answered it. Don't worry about that. Okay, fine. So, what's your least favorite looking brand? What one do you look at and go, "Oh, do you know what? That's just not for me." Or maybe, if you don't want to name a company, then name a theme which you're like, enough's enough.
Black and gold.
I was just about to say it. Again, I'm just trying to think what I've got in the drawers now. I can't think of a company. I will say the theme, just the basic shit. You know, when you got the logos that are clip art. I'm not trying to smash Andy here. I'm on about when you got like a clip art man with it's just a beard and sunglasses, and you see that all the fucking time, and then it's just like no attention's gone into the labeling. It's just like stick the logo there, write the name there, fuck it, that'll do. I hate that.
Like a knuckle duster in the name.
Your answer is the same as mine. When you asked me this question weeks back, it's that same silhouette, isn't it? Just a beard silhouette with a picture, and it was just like kind of there's a lot. It's not that it doesn't look good. It's just that there's so many companies that do the exact same thing, and when you scroll, you follow a lot of beard companies. Your Instagram, a lot of them just don't stand out. It's just like, oh, another one of those ones, another one of those ones. You don't really tell them apart a lot of the time. And also kind of the basic white label with the black silhouette, it's just kind of everywhere,
And that's the thing, as you said, you can't tell them apart. When I see new companies coming out with that kind of logo, that kind of theme, I just think I'm not going to fucking bother with your stuff, because if your logo is the same and your bottles are the same, your scent's probably going to be
exactly, yeah. I mean, it kind of gives you, if you haven't put that much effort into your market research to do something original, just for the logo, then and the logo, that's not a very hard thing. You just do it once, you design it, it's done. If you're not putting that much effort into that, then how much effort are they going to be putting into their carrier blends, their scents,
And that's not me thinking as a business, and that's me thinking as a customer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right. So, what is the most interesting balm, oil, or beard product out there at this point in time where you go, you know what, that's actually quite a good idea, or maybe I'd like to try that, even if it's just a scent? Is there anything out there where you go, yeah?
You're stumping me. Again, some of the stuff I've tried, well, most of the stuff I've tried, some of them I just find the same. As I said, like thin oils, they don't really work for me, so I tend not to really go for them now. But I will say, Lakeland Beard Care, I tried a sample of his butters. I think he's just changed the base recipe now. I haven't tried the new version, so that I think that is different. I think he's sort of similar to mine. I think he's sort of whipped and poured like a mixture in between. But his sample, the main one that stood out to me was Squeeze the Day. It was coffee and orange. I'd never tried. I don't like coffee. He wrote it on the card when he sent me some stuff, and I looked at it. I thought, fucking hell, Rich, this ain't going to be good. As I said, I don't like coffee. I don't like the smell, the taste. So I was like, I would have given him some honest feedback. So I tried it, and I was like, fuck me, that is really nice. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Scott, I'll definitely just Lakeland Beard Care, definitely recommend it. I feel like it goes under the radar a lot. Oh, Rich over there. My favourite scent is one that some people they wouldn't understand it. But it's called Winter Warrior. It is tea tree, eucalyptus, and I've gone blank. It's very, very refreshing, very strong. It's a brilliant scent. And his butter, I tried the old one. I haven't tried the new one yet, but it's been phenomenal. I've loved everything he's done.
I'll tell you what, Andy, I'm going to throw that one across to you as well. Is there anyone or anything out there at this point in time where you go, do you know what, that looks fucking pucker?
I like the packaging of Magic City from Miami. Obviously, it's quite bright orange. I like that. I like stuff that stands out. I've never tried them, but I do really I appreciate some good packaging. I love it, and his is fucking awesome. If everyone's seen Magic City, I've never spoke to them, I've never used it, but I just love a look at it. Love to give it a go. Product wise, can't really think of anything product wise that I really want to give a go. I'd love to give your butter a go. Actually, I've never used a hard butter, so that'd be good. It's quite funny. We were talking a minute ago about butters, and I had a comment. I did a post a couple of weeks, about a month ago, just asking people what they think of a butter, what makes a butter. You know, and you were saying like a butter doesn't have wax in. I agree, but I just noticed 2 days ago I got a new comment on there saying, and I quote, "The company that made the first beard butter created it with wax. So the discussion is pointless." I was like, okay, cool story, bro. How did you know what company made the first butter?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who was that company?
I don't know. He sounds like a beard historian of some sort, but
I want to find out now, because they're obviously full of shit and they're fucking.
You know,
no wax in a butter. It has to be.
I give it 24 hours, and I guarantee Callum has found that post, commented on it, and called that guy out.
You'll see it. It's on my. You see it go on my page, and you see a picture of like just a tub of whipped butter, and it's on that.
Yeah.
So I couldn't bother replying. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Right. So, Callum, what's your biggest fuck up so far? Be honest. Where have you fucked up?
Probably starting the business. That's my biggest fuck up. As I said, when I did start, I didn't know what a CPSR was. I thought I'd done enough research, but the thing is, when you don't know how to do the research, you just fucked from the start. I tried coming in with 1 cent, 10 mils. All right, yeah. In the end, I changed it to 50 mils after the CPSR, but this is why I'm still only where I am. So right now, Andy, how many orders have you had this month?
This month, probably about 30, 40. It's not a lot.
Okay, so that's a month, and we're on 15. We're 15 days in. Okay, so all right, yeah, you've got a few products. You got your oils, your balms, and the cleanser at the moment. Plus, you got some.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm 2 years in. I've still only got my oils. I've got one product, 6 different scents. I've just sold. Bear with me. Order number 275. In 2 years, that is all I've done.
Yeah.
Because and this is why it's slow, because I started out so wrong. I didn't start with enough stuff. I started with 1 cent and fuck all money. So it's been slow going for me. The reason it's taken so long to get stuff out is because I've got to wait for the money to come back in.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my fuck up. As I say, once the butters are out, I'll have 2 different products. I've got more out. I know it's going to get better for me, and it'll be good. But it kills me.
I mean, do you think the community, the Instagram community, which obviously you're involved in, Andy, you're involved in as well, do you think having that social media presence is going to help you by boosting their profile? Because obviously we've got the UK Beard Portal, which is one thing we'll discuss a little bit later, but it's that community spirit. Do you think that's going to help you?
Definitely. I mean, community spirit it's essentially word of mouth, isn't it? It's someone in the community recommending your product. I had a guy, he was a customer in Kent, actually, near you. He brought 1 or 2 bottles, and then within a week I had 3 more orders, all from Kent. And I thought, that's a bit of a coincidence. So I messaged one of the guys who ordered the second time, and I said, just by chance, were you recommended by him? And he said, yeah. So the guy who ordered first from Kent had recommended me on Instagram. I didn't follow him at the time, so I didn't know his page. So he'd recommended me on Instagram, and then 3 other people all ordered straight away. So it definitely helps. The community is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean,
I get. I think the community is great. I think because it's not about. We've said this before. It's not about you don't steal customers off people. It's like everyone wants to buy everything. Everyone wants to try it out. People are people don't tend to just buy one company. Like they're beard enthusiasts, they want to try new products. So it's good when you get involved with the community. It does really directly boost your sales. And what I find is I see a direct, like almost instant correlation with how active I am on Instagram versus how many sales I've got. Like this month's been a bit slower than usual, but I've been off. I've pretty much been off social media. I've been so busy with the new job, and then just like I've started doing a couple of posts the last few days. My sales have gone right up again. It's mad how instantaneous it is. As soon as you start getting active in your social, sales go right up, I find.
Well, yeah, definitely. That is something that I need to improve on.
Talking about social medias, I've just had sort of Tony, the bearded Brit, message me. And do you know what? Unfortunately, we've been online for 40 minutes and somebody already has put a thumbs down on the video. It kind of quite shows how pathetic. Yes, you can't tell, unfortunately.
Wankers.
Yeah, he's sort of one of these.
That was me. This is fucking shit, guys. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, so
in a minute.
Obviously, there are some haters out there. There are some pathetic people who decide to do that type of stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. But yeah, I think obviously it's something which, Andy, for yourself, when it comes to sort of the Instagram community, obviously when you first started the company, Beard Things, you had very, very big social media presence at the time.
Yeah.
And you think, obviously, you think that worked in your
massively. I think what worked for me really well was because the page Beard Things was my review page. So I think by doing reviews for ages and then also working with yourself on Bearded Bear reviews, it kind of helped me build a base and get into the community and build a base amount of followers. And then I did kind of I started teasing about 8-9 months before my launch. I mean, just teasing that I'm making stuff and just kind of putting the ideas out there. And then I kind of shared my journey of my design of my bottles, my design of my logo, the design of the website, and it's kind of shared that journey. It's good to share it, but also it kind of helped build hype as well. So I had a really good launch, and it's been fairly consistent since. You do get quiet months, you get quiet weeks, you get like one day where like you haven't had sales for weeks, and then suddenly bang, you get like 30 orders in a day or something. It's mad. But yeah, the social media side of it's massive, and I'm still not. I've done like paid marketing, paid ads. I think I've done 2 in total, and I didn't really get much from them. That's one thing I need to start looking into. Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, I've never really used them. Pretty much all my sales are organic. I don't pay for anything, but it is something that I do want to start doing and start looking into because you can see it does help people. It does help the companies. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few companies who use that paid advertisement, and you do tend to see their posts sort of quite a bit.
That's how I found out companies had blocked me as well, because let's sponsor that, and I click on them,
and you can't. Yeah. So mine just probably saying that the thumbs down was probably an ambassador for the bullshitters. I mean, there's a couple of companies which we could probably call the bullshitters, but on the same side of it, I think we all know who we're talking about. The big bullshitters who Andy absolutely loves. Who done the original meme on, and obviously mine. Just jumping on, turning around and saying he actually really enjoys the Beard Things oil, and he only found out because obviously I tagged him in the competition before the launch, and he won your Black Oak.
Yeah. Awesome.
Which once again, it does show that social media presence does work. But once again, being one-man bands like yourselves, like you both are, it's trying to fit in the time of working, family life, and then doing that social media presence as well. And obviously, you're both in beer clubs as well, so you've got that responsibility to sort of be active within your groups and have that responsibility yourselves. So trying to fit everything in can be a bit of a nightmare. So obviously with the BB, you have your activity where you sort of always trying to be active. You sort of put your posts out sort of on Instagram, stuff like that. Obviously, Callum, you are part of the Berserker Beards, if I believe right. You are is it an officer?
Yeah, I'm the charity officer.
That's the one. Yeah. So once again, so you deal with that. So you have your responsibility of being active within the chats, trying to make sure it's your charity stuff is all going ahead. And obviously myself, I am the secretary within the rebellion. So it's, as you said, trying to fit everything in and then still be active on social media. And it's very hard, but social media itself is
full-time job.
It's a hard place to be involved in. It's very time consuming, it's demanding, it's draining, and it's something which can work to your advantage, which Andy knows from first hand, but it's trying to have that balance to make sure everything which goes on. But sort of just jumping back onto Martin, obviously I was wondering what was going on with his profile picture. It's 15 years old, in case you want to know. I'm not sure. I think Martin must somehow be on a massive delay. Are you going back and hearing old questions or stuff like that? But it's he looks like a character from EastEnders at the moment. But yeah, so obviously we've got a few people in here at the moment. Do me a favor, jump on to the likes, give this video a like, make sure that we get more likes and thumbs up than we do get the thumbs down, because as we know, there's going to be a couple of haters around. So right, next question we're going to have so far. What do you think is the brand out there with the biggest ego?
Odin's beard care. I think I've said it before. I think the geezer who owns it's a cunt. I don't like him. I've had him blocked for a while. Not like a poncy little. He's upset me, so I blocked him. He was copying everything I did for fucking ages. I got sick of it. But yeah, he's full of shit. He has been since I started. Just full of shit.
Yeah, I've never dealt with Darren or Odin's myself personally. I mean, being on the same Viking theme, do you feel it's? I mean, there's only so far which, I mean, at some point you two are gonna have to sort of collide on ideas and stuff like that, because it's both Viking, if you know what I mean. So do you think it's more a case of coincidence that things are bouncing off together, or is it? Yes
and no. I mean, I will try not to copy other people. I mean, I did have a plan to name a scent after my son Loki, goes along with the brand with the themes, but he's got a scent called Loki. I'm not going to bring out another scent like that. At least I didn't want to. I haven't really thought about it because I just thought it's still kind of copying. But you know, I brought out Yggdrasil. Then he brought out Yggdrasil. You know, it just goes on like that.
Yeah. We've got a good question from Martin, actually, and this will go to both of you. So we're going to start with Andy first, actually, because I've been drilling Callum for a little bit. So are there any brands which you think will take off in the future?
Yeah, I think obviously Newlands, you know, we've been chatting for ages. I think his stuff will go really well, and also Beard Manners as well. It was great. We've chatted a couple of times. I've seen his stuff; looks really good. So, and I like the new labels he's done as well with the new colours for each one. So I think they'll both go off really well. Other than that, I've had like a load of follows from other new beard companies. You can see, I don't know who it is that owns them. There's quite a few. I won't be able to find them now, but there's new companies popping up almost daily at the moment. So it's going to be hard to say who. Some of them will do really well, some of them won't. There's a few companies that kind of came up ages ago. They've died a death already. When we first started, was it New Forest or something? I haven't seen them in ages. I don't know. Are they still going? There's a bunch of companies. Let me have a little look actually. But yeah, there's a lot of companies that just kind of it's weird that we looking like they're kind of doing well one second and they just kind of die a death. So, but yeah, I think obviously Beard Manners and Newlands do good.
Yeah. Callum, is there anyone who you think there could be who could take off?
For me, I'm going to say, again, they're not a new one. They've been around for a while, since 2018. I'm going to say Lakeland Big Care. The reason being is because I feel like Rich is so under the radar for some reason. It's always baffled me. Not a lot of people know about the brand, or not a lot of people try the brand. I think if he gets a lot of attention, like just one sort of boost, with a bit of attention, he's going to fucking skyrocket.
Yeah.
He's got a good 8, I want to say maybe 9 cents. He's got oils, balms, butters. He's got some brushes. His packaging's on point. He's everything about his brand is brilliant. It always has been. And I say he was one of the first ones, along with Odin's Beard Care, which is sort of a reason why I think he's a prick. When I first started and I was reaching out to other companies, trying to, like you said, Newlands have been doing, like chatting to people. It's nice, it's community spirit. Rich was always nice. He was helping me out with that. Odin's was a dickhead. So I'd say Rich, for me, at Lakeland Big Care from the start, has been brilliant. And I think if he gets a bit more sort of exposure, or just people start trying him out, and our employees try him out, because his scents and his stuff are brilliant. That will shoot up. Guarantee it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we've got Tony the Bearded Brit. He's also turned around and said Bread and Beard Co. It's another company. He has a great. I reviewed them. Tony's done a review for them as well, and they've got a great set of carrier oils. It's really, really good. The branding's nice. It's sort of got a white bottle, so it does stand out. So it's like, for myself, because I have the luxury of obviously using so many different products. I literally have 2 drawers worth of products. And when you're there on your sort of days off and you're sort of just picking your own oil which you want to use, for me, it's a visual aspect. I want to see something which kind of pops, and having this white bottle in a crowd of sort of brown UVs, it just creates a little bit of something different, and it's nice to see. So yeah, Brennan, and to be totally honest, for me, obviously, I think Big Fat Beard John is, for me, he's going to be there because he's determined. The amount of stuff he gets about, he's on podcasts everywhere. He's determined. He does his hairdressing, these barbers courses where he's going to be putting his oils in. He's just sort of like absolutely everywhere. He kind of has a finger in every pie possible, and I like that mentality. I like to have that idea of being able to sort of reach almost everyone. So for me, that's sort of really important. But I mean, there are so many guys out there who have the potential, as Andy was saying, where they sort of pop up and you look at them, you go, yeah, your branding's on point, your products are sort of pretty good. Okay, new brands, but maybe you need to sort of learn a little bit more, but definitely on path. And then they just disappear. And it's because it is very, very hard for these guys to really take hold. And it is sort of guys like Lakeland, which even I will admit I've not tried their stuff yet, and I need to, and it's embarrassing that I haven't managed to get around to doing it yet.
Same here, Dan. Honestly, I've known about Lakeland since kind of we started going into this, and I've just never tried them. They look great, and I'd agree. I mean, from what I've heard, they're brilliant, and they kind of got under the radar. So yeah, I need to get onto that and give them a go. They look great.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And it's sort of that type of stuff where we go, you know what? We should encourage sort of these guys all the way through. It doesn't matter whether they are small and they haven't got they doesn't look like it, they can't do it, or whether it's guys like Lakeland who definitely look like they can do it, but for some reason are not getting that traction. We just got to take that responsibility, I suppose, as a community and go, you know what, fine, let's try and up our game and help these guys out a little bit more, and go from there. So We've got a nice question from John at Big Fat Beard.
I was about to say, here's John starting some shit again.
Yeah, I laughed at that when I saw it.
Yes, yeah. So something which we're not going to avoid. In your opinion, who is the worst reviewer? Obviously, this is subjective. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and it's something which I don't know. Like reviewers, especially for myself. I mean, I look at guys and I go, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily do it like that. I look at some of my old stuff and even go, oh, do you know what? That was absolutely terrible. But it's like anything; it's a starting point, and people have to progress, and then people have to grow. But is there anyone out there, or even is there a style where you turn around and go, you know what? No chance, because I'm a written reviewer. So that's my style. That's what I like. I'm not keen on doing the video reviews. I am going to be doing some, just because it's an aspect I need to progress on. But is there a style, or is there a certain review where you just go and turn around and go, not for me?
Oh shit! That's why I retired, and that's why I made my own company instead. I went for early retirement. Stop fucking doing it.
What about Callum? What about yourself, mate?
I'm going to sound like a cunt here, aren't I? Nothing. Right. I'm going to say Ginger Beast. I don't like the style. It seems like it's just sort of like webcam shit. It's like he hasn't really paid much attention to it. He's never done any of my stuff, and there's a reason for that. It's because he's been messaging me. He sometimes messages me saying about, "Oh, I keep meaning to try your stuff," and I'm like, "All right, we'll just fucking do it." Like people like say Tony the Bearded Brit. I didn't ask him for a review. He bought my stuff. He reviewed it. That was great. I was fucking well happy with that. When I realised it was him, I was like, "Oh fuck, this is great." There's a few other reviewers as well who just buy stuff and they go through it, or some people will say, I've been looking to review. I've been doing a lot of reviews recently, and if it's someone who's like a big reviewer and will get me a lot of exposure, I'll be happy to do like a discount or something like that. But I think Ginger Beast was asking about discounts and that, or if I can just send him some stuff, and I was just like, no, because I've had a lot of reviews from my. I haven't got that many products out. All my products have had reviews. If I send you free shit, just what you do is not going to do anything for me. It's just I think it's just how he reviews. He needs to work on it. Basically, he needs to buy some stuff, go through it like that, and then yeah.
You know what? It's something which for me for Ginger Beast, he done a review a little while ago, and I can't remember what company it was for, but he was very honest, and it was like, look. This product is just...
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Biodins.
It wasn't Biodins.
It was some. No, he said Biodins was good. It was Arthur J. Hawke's butter.
Yeah, it was. And he was very honest, and he was like, you know what? I'm disappointed. The product is just not good enough. And for me, as a reviewer, that is the hardest thing to do. To have the bollocks to stand there and go, it's not good. It's really not good, and even worse to do it on camera. And this is sort of one thing. I obviously you talk to people in the community, and I was just like, you know what? I really respect him for being able to do that.
It was brutal. It was brutal as fuck. I remember watching it on the train, and I was just like, holy fucking shit! He went in.
Did you say that was for a review he did on Arthur J. Hawke?
Yeah.
So I remember seeing him do. I want to say they did a jam donut scent or something like that, and I remember he tried he did a review for that, and he loved it. I remember he smashed a proper jam donut into his face and got covered in shit. Like that was actually quite funny. But I remember him liking that. So for him to then turn around to the same brand and say, that's shit, that's take some balls.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's something for me. As I said, I think I really respect him for doing that. And it's a different. Don't get me wrong. When you come to reviewers, when you sit in here, everyone seems to have the same idea of sitting, fancy background, standing to the side and telling you what's great about your beard product. And then obviously sort of grabbing the product and going, have a big old, like that type of sniff. And it's something which he does differently. And I respect that. I respect him for doing that. Obviously, there are certain things which experience and sort of knowledge which he'll gain over the time, but I will say I do respect him for doing that at least. I mean, we've got something from Martin as well. What was a Greek-themed beard oil? It was shit. What? And we talking about Midas?
I think we are.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Enjoy
Yeah.
your oil, King.
Is it Midas? Midas? I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
I remember it because like it came out like the day after I kind of talked about my packaging. His packaging was quite similar. I was like, easy now. And he sent me his product. It was just shit, man. And it was like I haven't seen anything from them for months. But you could tell that was going to die a death quickly. It was just one. It was 1 cent. The cent was crap. It cost like 30 quid. All the money was put into like a little felt thing you put it in. It looked like something you'd find in a tacky shisha bar. It just looked awful. No.
Yeah, he's.
Sorry, mate, you go.
I was just saying, sort of regards to Midas. I mean, I was speaking to Martin about this a little while ago, and don't be fooled. Martin is very, very fucking knowledgeable when it comes to scents and all that type of stuff. He acts like he doesn't. He knows his shit. Trust me. And hold on, and just Martin being Martin being a dickhead again. Yes, Midas, terrible pronunciation. Oh, sorry. But yeah, and I was talking to Martin about it, and they went through a phase where they was going to all different reviewers, and they was asking for feedback, and they ended up getting sort of 3 or 4 really, really bad reviews, and then they sort of went away for about a month or 2. Come back, and instead of going to reviewers, they was going to complete sort of just normal people within the community asking for them to do a review. And I thought to myself, you know what, that's really fucking cheeky, because you know the reviewers are picking up the dog shit because they've used loads of different products in the past, so these reviewers know what's going wrong. And yet you've decided to go to just normal people who have no real background and sort of experience in all these sort of different sort of products, and just trying to get them to get a cheeky review. And let's be totally honest, is the average Joe really going to turn around and say, oh, this product is shit, sort of in a post or anything like that? No, they're probably not. They're just going to say, oh, thanks for the free product. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was great. And it was just massively sneaky. Yeah, it was just them all over. But yeah, go on, Callum. What was
It was also he didn't get any. He openly told me that he didn't have CPSR and he wasn't going to get it. And then he did trying to blag and bullshit to people that he had CPSR. He got some papers made that wasn't fucking CPSR tested, and he's just a fucking cowboy, absolute cowboy.
That's not right. That's not right. Yeah, I was going to ask, could you, Docs, can you highlight John's comment over there, the big one?
Yes.
It's just resonated with me. So John said, "Devil's in the detail, researching the company and getting all the info correct is paramount." I've had a few reviewers in the past who I've sent them reviews and I've been sitting there watching it and I'm just correcting them as they go along.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me, it's not hard. Like, the information is on my website, or I have told you all of this, and you're sitting there getting it fucking wrong. It's like, why have I sent you my stuff for free, and then you just fucking it up? Like, this is doing nothing for me. I'm
really glad you said watch that and not read that, because I would have been sitting there. Because me and Tony, as you was going through that, I'm sure me and Tony were sitting there going, please don't say anything. Please don't say anything.
No, it was a few. It's YouTube reviews and Instagram reviews as well. I won't name names on this one, but one of them before I remember I had. So my oils are £13 usually. I had them on sale at one point, so it showed on my website as 13 was crossed out, and it had £7 below it. It was like 2 days I was doing like a near enough 50% off. And this reviewer, I think the day he was doing it, he'd had it for a week or two. The day his review came out, he then obviously looked at my website and saw £7, and he started saying, "Oh yeah, the oil's £7." And I actually had someone email me saying, "I was told your oil was £7, but I'm looking on your site now and it's 13." I'm like, you don't listen to them. That's wrong. Like it's not hard to see that, and it's certain things. Pronouncing the sense wrong. All right. If you can't read it properly, that's fine. But like, if we've actually had a conversation and I've spoken it, I've said it to you, I kind of expect you to just get it right.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna probably defend reviewers a little bit here, and I do completely understand. There are certain things which I feel you need to get right. I mean, I've seen a couple reviews from different reviewers, and as you say, the name of the product range is wrong. Yeah, and sort of stuff like that.
Coconut cutthroat, I've had.
Yeah, coconut. Yeah.
I saw that not too long ago.
Yeah. So it's sort of stuff like that, and you're just like, yeah, the information is there. You should be covering the basis, and I do think sort of there should almost be a tick list of what you should be covering, and then sort of once you do that, then all right, go into sort of further explanation of sort of all other bits and pieces. But I don't know. Maybe it's because of video reviews. It's sort of being rushed. I mean, when I do my written reviews, it takes time. I do it over a couple of days. So I do it once. I'll go back through it, and I'm like, I'm not happy with that, or oh fuck, I made a mistake. And I just sort of go over it a couple of times, which I suppose you can't do that with a video review. But on the same side of it, I'm surely you must watch it before you put that information out, and then look at it and go, oh fuck, that was wrong, I need to re-record that. But yeah, I think when it comes to it, push comes to shove, there does have to be a level somewhere, and finding that level sometimes can be very hard, and it can be misleading for company owners. But there are good people out there. You just got to find them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So where was we going? Hold on. One from
Tony.
Yeah, the question from Tony. Question for Callum.
Asking for a friend.
Do you moisturize your head, and if so, what do you use? Asking for a friend.
Yes, I do. I moisturize head and face, and I use beard products. Only certain ones. Basically, with what's left over in your hand, once you put it through your beard, I just rub it all over, get it in. Head gets nice and soft, especially for us baldies. It's great for the skin as well. So at the moment, I've got my butter in my beard, and then what was left, I've just gone it all over. It's fucking great for your skin. I don't want to try and trump myself up here, but I've been doing this for like a few months now. Basically, since the end of last year, I've been using the leftover as moisturizer. I remember I was at work one day, I think it was New Year's Eve, and a girl at work said, your skin is really nice. And I was like, that's fucking weird. I've never heard someone say that to me, but I was like, thank you. Then the next day, New Year's Day, I did a Instagram live on Berserkers Rage account as a charity raffle. There's a couple people commented saying that, Callum, your skin looks flawless and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck? No, where's all this coming from? And since then, I've had loads of comments about my skin, just saying it looks good. And it's beard products. You haven't got to waste money buying these fancy fucking moisturizers and all that bollocks. Use the stuff you've already got in your drawer. Rub the excess onto your skin. As I say, I do it on my head. I go into my nose, cheeks. I go fucking everywhere. Your head might look shiny for a bit, but it works. It's good.
Mate, it works. It works. And do you know what I think would be really impressive as well? Obviously, Aaron says, does it help grow your hair on your head? But if you use a derma roller, I'm sure that might work.
Let me just go buy one. There's a certain big company that do them. I'll give it a go.
A couple now, aren't there?
Yeah. So we have got Scott, who turns around and says he's the same as you. So Scott does like to sort of give it a little rub all the way across. But
Callum, I've got a question, mate. Have you thought about doing a non-scented oil?
No. Well, yes. The answer is no. The reason being is a lot of people do. I mean, obviously, I only use essential oils. Reason being, nothing against fragrance oils, but essential oils have benefits for the skin. So
yeah,
if someone wants an unscented oil for their beard, there's plenty of companies that you could go to and you could find a great one there. I've just seen someone say he can't stand not scented. I've used it a couple of times. It works if I'm using an aftershave or something. But I've got people who, there's a lady in Malta. I've got Liz, a lady in Canada. Both of them use it. One of them uses it as hair treatment. One of them uses it as a scalp treatment. Scott was saying yesterday or the other day that his son uses it as a spot treatment. My oils. There's
nice
things in there. The carrier oil is, of course, great for it. That's the one. But with the essential oils, they've got benefits for the skin.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are using it for things like that, that enhances it. That's why I won't do an unscented. I mean, if I was to do an unscented, people could just go and buy sweet olive oil and castor oil and just get it for much cheaper anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd see it as I'd be cheating people as well. But as I said, with essential oils, you get the added benefits for the skin and the hair. It's better that way.
Yeah.
We've also got sort of Martin, and this may be a bald person thing because I don't quite know what it is. GOF Trumper Skin Food is my go-to product for my bald head.
What is that? please tell me what that is. I'm interested.
Martin, you're going to have to drop us a message back. Tell us what the hell it is. That sounds like some type of fish food. I've got no idea what it is.
If it's for bald heads and it's called Trumper, is it like a really big weird wig thing that kind of blows around in the wind? The blonde one.
So I've used touching on that as well for any of my bald friends and Tony especially. I have used moisturizers before I started using beard products. Loads of different types. And I always found after a little while, a few hours or something, if you were to touch your head, it would just start like rubbing off. It's like it made like a coating on your head. And you just get, like you rub your hands together and you get the little black bits of like dead skin. It was like that. After a little while, it'd be coming off. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? But oils, balms, butters, they sink into your skin. They work well. That doesn't do it. So you haven't got to worry about them.
There we go. We've got a response from mine. It's an aftershave made with natural oils. It's a very old brand. So was it something like Old Spice, something like that? It's just what's going on? Martin, you're going to have to send me an image at some point and show me what it is. Because that, as I said, Martin is an extremely knowledgeable bloke when it comes to beard products. He's dabbled in his own products himself. And he honestly, he knows his shit. If you want to talk to someone outside of beard companies, drop Martin a message. Find him on Instagram, Sprawl008, something like that, or just jump onto the Rebellion website and find him. He knows his stuff. It's amazing, sort of what he knows. Make sure you have a look through that. So just jumping back onto the reviews. John from Big Fat Beard actually turned around and said himself, he's done a 20-minute review for Hintland and he's not even a reviewer. I mean, we're not going to talk about quality of that review, let's be totally honest. But it was it. No, but obviously, joking aside, it is so. The opportunity is there. And if guys like John want to invest in that sort of situation where they want to review brands, and it was fantastic at the time because it was like a company reviewing another company. And there's been a couple of times, and there was actually a question earlier as well, and I believe it was by Scott. It was right back up the top, and unfortunately I missed it. And one of the questions, and the question was, would you collab with anyone? And in that situation, obviously, it wasn't so much a collaboration, but you had that respect of John from Big Fat Beard reviewing someone else's brand. So, Callum, would you either collab with someone, or would you be prepared to review someone else's brand?
I have sort of done reviews. I won't call them full reviews. It's more a hybrid between a review and a shout out to different companies. When I find a product I like, I did one for Andy's stuff. I've done Lakeland, a Tarntel, a few others. It's more just sort of keeping the community spirit up. I like to let people. Some people said it's weird to see a brand pumping out other brands because it's my brand. I'd say it's good. We're all in it together. We're all pushing each other. Why the fuck not? Yeah. Collaborations, I have thought about it before. Don't think we've actually spoken about it, but if there was one I would collab with, it would be Connor from A Tartan Tale.
Yeah. Reason
being is that I like to sort of see things as like I think if me and Andy did a collab, it would be weird. Like Bald Viking, beard things, it just wouldn't.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. I think your brands would go really well. Yeah, they complement each other.
The way I see A Tartan Tale is like you've got Vikings and you've got like old time Scottish clans. That kind of thing, like, that could work.
Yeah.
Again, like Vikings and Lakeland beard care, it would be weird. I could do another Viking brand, but you know, I think Connor would go well. As I say, our oils are quite thick, so it'd be good.
Yeah. I think because you and Tartan Tale, your oils are very similar, so you would have a similar idea on sort of the scents. Maybe not so much the scents, because your scents are very, very different from each other. Obviously, you are a essential oil elitist, as I would call you. Whereas I do believe Connor, he does like a fragrance oil. But he has what I classify like as a homely and a cozy feel to his scents. One of the scents which I've got for him is
nice.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, and it just brings back memories of being a kid and almost being wrapped up in like mum's jumper and nuzzling in with her. It's such an amazing feeling, and the scents are contrasting between you and sort of him, but the idea behind the thickness of the oil and the simplicity between sort of both branding would work really, really well. And I think that's something which, as a collab, for you two to do that would be fantastic. Whereas, as you said, regards to yourself and maybe sort of Andy beard things, the contrast would almost be too much. Andy sort of with these very much sort of with these gold bottles and he's sort of in your face type sort of this is my brand, and the aftershave type scents as well, which obviously Andy does. Whereas with yours, you're natural, you're thick. It's just a massive contrast. So I think definitely for me, if you're gonna collab, I would love to see you do something with Connor. That's such a great.
I'll get chatting to him, see what we can do,
mate. That would be such a great shout out.
I see a lot of similarities between Connor and myself too. We just how the business operates. We both started with sort of one. I started with one oil. He started with a couple. He's taken his time. He's now got 4 oils. Most other brands, like Andy as well, they come out with at least oils and balms. They come out with some combos and that, and that's what helped push the brand along. To say me and A Tartan Tale, I feel like we're very similar, and it's just like we're on the same level. It's really good, and yeah, as I say, I definitely will mention to Connor at some point. We'll try and get something going.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
Yeah, I think so. Still firing through these questions. They're supposed to be quick fire, but we're not. We're just scrolling through them. We've gone past that point now. But what is your one pet hate within a reviewer? What do you not like? And this, Andy, this is also going to go to you as well. So because this is something for me, which I can learn off as well. So any guys in the comments, if there's something which you don't like from reviewers or something which you want to see from a reviewer, make sure you put a message in the comments, because I want to know and I want to learn how I can be better. So from Callum, what's your pet hate? What do you want? And what also do you want to see from reviewers?
So you are good at this. I don't know if this is before sort of I got to know you, because we haven't really known each other that long.
No.
Or if it's because of my moaning about this topic that you sort of picked up on it. And it's when reviewers don't pay that much attention to the label. Like they'll look at the logo, the colours, the styling. That's great. For me, I want to know about the nitty gritty, the important stuff, the legal stuff. So as I say, with my oils here, the batch code, the ingredients written correctly and the Latin names. I want to see the allergens written in bold. I want to see everything correct on there. And when reviewers don't talk about that, it kind of pisses me off a bit. I like to see them do it. As I say, I've seen a few of your reviews recently. You've been doing that, which is great to see. And I'm hoping that's going to start picking up across the board and everyone's going to do it.
Yeah. Andy, what about yourself? Is there anything which you look at reviews and you go, oh, that pisses me off?
Yeah, it kind of, so people who've been doing reviews for ages and they're still the same. They're still doing the same thing. They're umming and ahhing every 2 seconds. The quality of the video is shit. There's just no extra effort. There's no, like, so I mean, if you look at when I was reviewing, the quality of my first review compared to like the quality of my last reviews, it's you can see it's a gradual step-by-step build. Always trying to improve, always trying to get better, taking on feedback, taking on ideas, and just like reviewing your reviews. Like sit down with a bit of pen and paper. Like, this is really good. That was really shit. So next time I do a review, I'll include that and I won't do that. Or maybe I can develop this idea. That bit worked really well and I got a bit of good feedback for that. I got a good bit of response from it. So maybe I'll change that. Or the quality of my camera's pretty shit. Maybe I can tinker with the settings. The background where I'm doing it, I've got like a pair of pants up on the fucking cupboard door. It looks like shit. Just little things where you can see people who actually, it's about putting in the effort, because, you know, we're putting in effort, developing, you know, products and making sure we're giving that the highest quality. Then, you know, reviewers should be doing the same, which most reviewers do. But it does annoy me when we just see the same old shit every single review, and I'm in and ahhing, and this and the just start again. If you fucking just start again, practice. I'm not saying like if people's got a stammer and that's fair enough, but I say this because that's my personal. I did that on my first review.
Yeah.
It was just we spoke about it. It was fucking terrible, and then I had to actually go into my own time and just practice really consciously. Not I'm in an errand, and then I got rid of it pretty much. So yeah,
it's horrible when you hear yourself do that. So
yeah.
I'm surprised. Reviewers must not be watching their own stuff because it pisses me off. I did a podcast a couple of weeks ago with Kieran, the leader of my club, and when I listened to it back, I was just sitting there, as you said, I was sitting there, and I was just like, I sound like a cunt.
It is horrible listening to your voice back because you're like, I don't fucking sound like that. Do I sound like that? No, I don't sound like that. But then you sound totally different, don't you? So that was one of my biggest shocks when I started reviews. I don't fucking sound like that, do I?
Yeah, well, it was something which I just done the as well. So Andy done a review for Odin's Beard Care, and that was the one. So we done the review, and it was a video review. Obviously, at that point in time, we was part of Bearded Bear Reviews, so it was all written reviews. But Andy was like, "I'm doing a video review because obviously he wants it, which is obviously fine." And he done it, and he sent the video to us in our Bearded Bear Reviews WhatsApp group. And me and Sean just ripped him to fucking pieces. Just like, I think I sat there and I counted the amount of erms. It was like 60 or 70 erms within the space of like 10 minutes. It was just like, but it is something which it's a habit, which you sort of have to fill that gap.
It doesn't take long to get rid of it. If you concentrate on it, it goes away. Like, And the problem with that video is Odin's bloody sponsored it, and I kept seeing it every day for like fucking months. And I was like, please take this down. And he kept using it. And there was even comments on there saying, so, that was bad. But I tell you what, it got rid of the habit for me. When I do videos now, I don't really, even when I'm like just doing like an off the cusp one on my stories or something like that. But it's a good way to kind of, that's what it's about though, isn't it? It's about identifying things and improving it.
Yeah, it's something which, I mean, myself as a reviewer, you do have to learn. And Martin just sort of come along with the bad grammar, which I know he's taken a dig at me with regards to that, because unfortunately my grammar is pretty atrocious. But it's just something which obviously I have to deal with. But as you said, it's about growing. It's about evolution. It's about starting at the beginning. I sort of see some of my first reviews and they were absolutely atrocious. And I found I was really comfortable within the Instagram and being able to do a review within 2,200 character limits. Now my reviews are around about 6,000. I think my latest one for Beard Manners, which I dropped today, was around about 7,000 characters. So to sit there and think, well, hold on, how the hell was I doing a 2,200 character limit review? It's just almost astounding. But as you said, it's about evolution. It's about growing and making sure that you are learning and adapting, re-watching your reviews and going, do you know what? I think I can do better here. And I speak to quite a few companies. I speak to John from Big Fat Beard. I was talking to Mark, who's managed to get back in with us after he's driving. Thank you, Mark, for coming. I was actually speaking to Mark, and he said to me there are certain things which he likes to see as a new company, and it was the weight of the oil within your beard. And I thought to myself, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. It's something which I never done before, because I never really thought about it. It just sort of goes from your beard. But it is right. When you are there, you can feel whether it's a heavy oil, whether it's a thick oil, and you can feel it within your beard, or a thin oil, and it doesn't sort of, you can't really feel it so much. So I thought to myself, no, do you know what? That's a valid sort of point. So I've started putting that in my reviews. And another thing which I introduced today is brand new. I put it in for Beard Manners, and Jason has taken it on board. It's the fact that for me, it's all well and good doing these reviews, but what's the end game? Because obviously you're all small batch brands. You're not there at the point where you're earning money and you can live the rest of your life in Marbella or wherever you want to live. So you have to grow as a company to be able to do that. So I've introduced something today called For the Future, and it's my opinion on how this company can grow, but not just grow themselves, but grow the market. So my latest one today was for Beard Man, as I said, and he has a medium to thick oil. It sort of has everything which you need for sort of like a good sized beard. However, you're going to have guys who don't like thick beards. Thick oil, sorry. They like a thin oil, which is completely fine. So obviously the advice for me with that day was, okay, well, you need to expand yourself. You need to reinvest and go, okay, I'm going to cater for someone else. I'm going to have these thin oils, but let's stop using oils which are common within the industry at this point in time. Let's see if you can develop and go a little bit further and use all these different ones, like hemp seed oil, nam seed oil, stuff like that, which are just not used. But it's an area of development, and that was something which is just sort of overall sort of talking to people, talking to companies, and it's like, right, well, what's the way of progressing companies? And for me, this is my idea. It's something which no one else does at this point in time. And if people want to, if other reviewers want to take it on board, they can. Tony, I'm going to charge you a 5% fee if you think you're going to take it. But it's like we've all got to learn off of each other. And this is why I always say to every company, if I've done something wrong, if you think I need to do something else, tell me, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's about growing. But Tony's got a lovely comment, which he's just sort of dropped in a little while ago. His pet hate, also Tony being the reviewer himself, his pet hate is when he's watching a reviewer sort of wobble on in a monotone voice, sitting at the desk and talking for the sake of it for 15, 20 minutes, snooze fest. And yeah, I completely agree with that. I suppose that's why I do written reviews, because then no one has to listen to my monotone voice, even though everyone's here on the Expedited podcast. But it's just not me. And I mean, as company owners, do you know? Yeah, this is an interesting question actually for company owners. Do you prefer a video or do you prefer a written, or is there a time and a place for both?
Time and place, definitely. It depends who's doing it and what style.
Yeah, I agree. I think video reviews are better if your goal is sales. They grab your attention quicker. It's better for people. I mean, like most people that are buying our products, are they people that are going to take 30 minutes to sit down and read a review? Not always. Having a really good, and even with video reviews, I mean, it doesn't need to be a long review. It can just be a short, concise review that just sells a product well as well. It depends on what you're looking for. I think for me, I appreciate all of them. I like having a good write up about my products, and it's good for myself. I love a review of my products, because especially when it's a really detailed written one, I can look at it and say, how can I improve them? Then also it's really good to have a short, sharp, concise video review that just attracts your attention, because then that's going to help you by driving more sales as well. So yeah, both of them really.
So if you're looking at a video review, how long do you want as company owners, how long do you want that video review to be?
Depends on the reviewer. I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, it's good to have short ones that just really work, because you can use them. You can use them for your own marketing. Obviously, if it's a good review. But then I love to see a nice long review as well, where they go into the detail. I love when I have like a reviewer talk about, they ask me a bunch of questions as well. It's like, how did you start? What was your inspiration? What are your next plans? Asking me about me, like where have I come from? Where have I lived? What have I done in the past and stuff like that. I like kind of seeing that stuff as well, because it just shows I put effort. But yeah, I wouldn't put time limit on it.
Cool. Where we go? So John sort of just jumped in, obviously another company owner, just pretending to know more than they actually do. Once again, that's something. Yeah, I mean, Google copying and pasting. It's very, very easy for reviewers to do, especially written reviews. Reviewers, it's even more easier. But yeah, it's something which, once again, you're there, you're in your time. You've just got to turn around and go. You either know your stuff or you don't, and if you don't, that's completely fine. I mean, there's no problem with that. But know your limit and work to your limit, and then see if you can progress from there. But yeah, I suppose it is what it is, isn't it? But right, moving forward. So, Callum, I want you to give company owners one word of advice. So, hold on, just before you do, I just want to quickly say goodbye. Peace out to John. Time for him to drop off to sleep. He's got haircuts, which he needs to do tomorrow. So, John, from Big Fat Beard, thank you very much. Pleasure, as always, to have him on board. So, peace out, mate. But yeah, Callum, as we're jumping back onto, whilst we've got Mark here as well, so from Newlands Grooming, sort of starting up, give him and new companies one bit of advice.
It's what I've touched on earlier. There'll be labeling for me. I want to see it all done properly. Let's say batch codes, just everything. I mean, the main thing that is skipped over the most, and it's actually quite scary when you think about it, is the allergens.
Yeah.
So I apologise for saying then I got stuck. I was trying to think. People don't put the allergens on there, and I think it was in the UK Beer Portal chat. We were talking about fragrance oils versus essential oils. Someone, I think it was Tom, said he didn't think that fragrance oils had allergens. And I was like, no, they do. And I went on to, I think I went on to the Soap Kitchen, and I had a look at the allergen declaration for a standard scent that you see a lot of honey. Obviously, you see a lot of honey in tobacco. There was a ridiculous amount of allergens in there. And the thing is, you're not going to be able to get them on a label. That's the problem. I think this is why people do it. You'll see a lot of people just say that they might talk about the carrier blends, then they'll say essential oil blends, and you won't see the allergens. And just technically, it's illegal. It's not safe for the customer if it's not declared anywhere. People don't know. As I said, so I've been restocking recently, so I've got them all on the table. So the Shield Maiden allergens are citral. I haven't saying these right. Citral, geraniol, linalool, and limonene. Yggdrasil, exactly the same. The Longboat is just linalool and limonene, but there's some of the other ones. They've got some different ones in there. It's a pain in the ass when it comes to labeling because you need to, but it costs a lot more. You can't just have the same label. You'll get however many you've got sent. So I've got 6 different labels, 6 different info cards because the information is different, all of them. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. It's fucking expensive, but it's done right. Everything you need is on there. You know if you can use it or if you can't use it. If you can't use it, you're going to know before you buy it because it's listed on the website. At the very least, all right, yeah, it might not be labeling compliant, but at the very least, it should be detailed on the website before someone orders. Again, I see a lot of companies, even some bigger ones, they just put essential oil blend or essential/fragrance oil blend. That's not right. It shouldn't be done.
Yeah, it's definitely something which, regards to labeling, there are very few reviewers who actually pick that up. I know Tony does. It's something which I've picked up, but apart from that, there's not too many others who actually pick on that. And that's just because people don't know about it, and it's such a grey area. And it's something which, I mean, I've had conversations with yourself, with Andy, from John, and many other sort of companies. And the information which people are getting from their suppliers is absolutely atrocious. I mean, the amount of times where, me and Andy back in the Bearded Bear reviews days, when we're talking to a company and they were saying, we haven't got CPSR because our supplier says we don't need them. And it's like, well, hold on, you're getting that information there. And then we talk to other companies regards to labeling in general, or I do at this point in time anyway. And once again, they say, well, there's nothing on our documentation which says how we need to label or what we're labeling. And it's something which is, for some reason, the information is not there properly. And it's so disappointing.
Yeah.
And we've seen it for such a long time. And this is something which, I mean, we'll start moving on to the UK Beard Portal now, actually. It's something which, as a portal, and obviously Callum, you're a board member, and Andy, you're a board member as well, and obviously myself, Tony, Bearded Brit, John from Big Fat Beard. We've got Tom Coggers in there as well. And that's everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And that base of information where companies can come to and talk to us and ask advice for. And I think that's really, really important because, as you said, it's illegal technically what's going on, regards to some of the poor labeling which is going on. And is as companies want to grow, they have to accept that they need to that things are just not right, and that's completely fine. And I think that's the idea behind the portal as well. We're not here to condemn anyone. We're not here to turn around and go, your product is not labeled correctly, you're wrong, and that's it, you're in trouble type thing. We're here to turn around and go, look, we've got, because obviously Callum, yourself, and John, for me, are two of the small batch brands where your labeling is absolutely on point. Like I cannot find a single thing wrong with it. And you know how picky I am as a reviewer. I love to pull people apart.
Yeah.
And I could not find a single fault with yours or John's, and so you are sort of my labeling experts. And when I come to sort of say, look, kind of, I need advice from you're the guys who I talk to when it comes to sort of that sort of type of stuff. And the idea of the portal is obviously to guide these new batch companies. And do you think? I mean, do you think it's good that companies are coming into the portal and getting advice from other company owners, or do you think it's something which maybe we shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that the knowledge should be shared across. There's probably things that I still don't know about certain things. Other people are going to know less, especially if you're just new to it. As I said, when I started, I didn't know what the fuck a CPSR was. Only by speaking to people who knew their shit, reviewers. In this case, it was Tom. Reviewers and other companies. That's when I started to know what I should be doing and what I should be doing correctly. If there's other brands watching now, or there's people who think they're starting their own brand, if you're getting told they don't need this on a label, they're full of shit. Don't listen to them. Take it from me. I spend a lot of fucking money on labels because I need to get different ones each time. If I could get away with just having one, I would, but I don't. So there's different colours, different ingredients, different things. Yes, it costs more money, but you're compliant, you're legal, and you're safe. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't have to.
Yeah, it's something which, as I said, for the UK beer portal, we've got loads of different ideas coming up, and for the portal, I'm actually going to put one thing out now, where for the guys who are in with us now, we're going to be doing a fundraising. I'm not going to tell you how, or I'm not going to tell you when we're doing it. It will be soon. We're going to be doing a fundraising, and we've had discussions about different charities which we're going to be raising to. But if there's anyone in with us now who has an idea of any type of charity that which they would like to be raised, money to be raised to, make sure you drop a comment within here. Tell us who you think deserves, not so much deserves, who could benefit from any type of funds being raised, because obviously we've had this discussion in our group chat, and there's a couple of great ones, and it's just like, well, okay, this is a community spirit, so let's get this information out there. I'm going to be doing Instagram stuff and putting stories out and trying to get a little bit more information from people as well. But as you said, the portal is there to help companies grow, and sort of companies like yourself, Callum, who started from the very, very sort of very bottom, not knowing anything, and progress your way through 2 years down the line, or even from Andy, where you've been the reviewer and all of a sudden you went absolutely mad and it just exploded as a company. I mean, you must have learned so much in such a short period of time. Is that? Do you think you've almost overloaded yourself?
No. I mean, I've always had a background in business anyway. Different kind of business, but I enjoy business. I think I'm better at the business side than I was the reviewing side. It was a massive learning curve. It was huge. The amount of stuff I had to quickly learn about the compliance side was massive. The side of the actual kind of products, I enjoyed that. Like just kind of learning about what different carry oils do, the benefits of them, like how to build like fragrances and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that, so it didn't really feel like that was much kind of research I had to do. The one thing that my biggest find from the whole thing, my biggest lesson is about preparation and planning. Like for anyone who's started their own company, plan the shit out of it. Like you can't plan enough. Plan for contingencies. Then do like once you've done your launch, do like an after action review on it. Like review everything you've done. What went well, what didn't go well, what can you learn from it? I think that's my biggest. It was something that I was always kind of good at, but I couldn't be bothered to do because I just wanted to quickly get it out there, do this, do that, get it done. But one thing I've learned from this is just about preparation and then reviewing what you've done as well for the next time. But that's it's been fun. But that's the main thing. It's been fun. It's been awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's as I said, it's something which you are going to learn. But when you first started, Andy, obviously, as you said, you had a lot to learn in that to the short period.
Mhm.
Do you feel that if you had something like the UK Beard Portal available to you, where you had people like Callum and John who knew their shit when it comes to labeling and sort of other bits and pieces, do you think that would have been worthwhile to you at the time?
I think definitely, yeah. I mean, I was lucky that I think I already had you guys. I was discussing this with you guys anyway because I already made these connections with you guys. But say if I hadn't done that, and absolutely, because if I didn't have that, if I didn't have you to speak to, John to speak to, it would have been a lot harder, and I would have made a lot more mistakes, and I would have wasted a lot more money. I spent a lot of money getting all my bottles printed. I had to get them printed in advance. It cost me, north of almost 5K for everything to get it all printed, sent over. I had to order a lot, minimum order quantities. Imagine if I'd got some of that labeling wrong. Imagine if I hadn't put Latin names on. Imagine I hadn't put the like a bunch of stuff on there. Like I'd have wasted a lot of money,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but it's great. And anyone who is, once again, anyone who is looking to make their own company from that is get on my messages, speak to us, because we're not, we're here to help. So get on it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, as I said, I'm always open as much as I can be. Callum, I know you are. Andy, I know you are. John from Big Fat Beard. Simon from Big Foot Beard is another outstanding bloke. He's just such an amazing person. And there are so many sort of companies out there who you can talk to and get that information from. And even sort of Jason from Beard Banners, he's new into the community, but he wants to learn. He's been talking to me and he's been talking to a few other guys, and he's already absorbing that and prepared to sort of give it back to sort of new companies as well. So it's fantastic that we're available and ready to talk to people. So obviously, sort of just jumping back onto the beer portal, the fundraiser, which we're going to be doing, did a couple of ideas sort of popping up. So we've got Scott, who's turned around and said a children's hospice would be epic. That is actually one of the ideas which has come through already. We are looking, it's something which sort of for us as these sort of bearded men, I think we are leaning towards that sort of children sort of aspect, and turn around again. I'd sort of these type of this type of community where you turn around and go, I'd love to help out these ones, and we had quite a few of them in the WhatsApp group, which we've got. We've also got Mark, who's stepped forward and said sort of the Ronald McDonald House Trust, which
is my favorite charity.
Is that another? Is that a family charity? Is that another child one or a family?
In short, what they do is, if there's a child who's seriously ill in hospital, they provide accommodation as close to the hospital as they can for the parents. Yeah. So basically, the family. So they might pay for an Airbnb. They might like go on Booking.com. They might just rent an apartment or something that's right next to the hospital or within like a 5-minute walk. So the family can be there, especially if they live quite far away. I mean, if it's like Great Ormond Street Hospital, but the family live like 2 hours away, London traffic as well is shit. So they'll pay for them to be there so they can just walk to the hospital and be with their kid as much as possible. For me, that is like the most important charity.
Well, it's once again, I suppose it is another child's charity, isn't it? Yeah. Because yes, okay, obviously you're helping the parents out and you're making sure that they are closer to the vicinity. However, a child without the mum and dad, without a parent or guardian there just to be able to protect them, so to speak, and give them that support is almost invaluable in itself. So once again, that's another fantastic idea. So we really sort of take that one on board. We've got Aaron, who's sort of just dropped another one in, children's heart surgery, which once again, it's another fantastic one, which 100% we're going to be taking these on board. And this is the idea, once again, to get the ideas from yourselves, because I know you guys in these chats and sort of on the Instagram and sort of the Facebook pages and stuff like that, you're all going to be supporting what we're going to be doing. And I guarantee you this is going to be something which something which you guys haven't been involved in yet. We've got our ideas And I can pretty much guarantee you that none of the guys who have been messaging us tonight and sort of on the Instagram, none of you would have done a fundraiser or a competition like what we're going to be offering coming up. We've just got to finalize a few bits and pieces before we're going to announce it. But hopefully, you guys are going to absolutely love it.
I'm going to have to apologise and leave you for a sec. I've got to run to the little girl's room. I'll be back momentarily.
It's up a Bud Light can. You're right.
Yeah, I was about to say it's fine. Normally, Andy just does it on a screen, so it's completely fine. But Scott once again says, wife says a mental health charity.
Yeah,
it's once again there's another one which we've spoken about. We've had the Autism Awareness, which I believe was April, was the Autism Awareness month. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. But yeah, and obviously we've got a large mental health, especially at this point in time with men's mental health is such it is such at the forefront at this point in time, which is really, really good to see.
Yeah,
because especially being in a community sort of where we are almost expected, we're bearded men, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're expected to give off this hard persona. Most guys have probably got the tattoos, bearded blokes, and it's like you're part of a beard club, and it's like you should be a hard man. Well, do you know what? No, that's not how it is. Every guy needs help and needs support from time to time. Maybe some a little bit more than others, or some pretend that they don't and that they actually do. But the men's mental health is, for me, is a key thing, and I think especially in the brotherhoods which we have, there is always that support there. I mean, obviously for yourself with the Bearded Villains, such a massive community.
Huge, yeah.
and reach there for yourselves, and sort of with myself with the Rebellion, we are a lot smaller, don't be wrong, but on the same side of it, because we are smaller, we are a lot more tight knit, and sort of we have them sort of closer discussions. And obviously for yourselves at the Berserker Beards, being sort of a smaller beard brethren in comparison to like the villains, you have a very sort of tight knit community when it comes to mental health, and sort of it's all stuff like that, which is sort of obviously fantastic. We've got where are we? I've just accidentally dropped that one. Men's Society that Roni reps is another one of our fans on Instagram. Sort of, he does quite a few. Andy, I think he's got a few of your beard products. The beard.
Yeah, he does. Well. Yeah, really sound guy. He works for the charity. Mental health charity. I think he's starting his own. He's starting his own thing as well. I don't know too much about it, but be a good one to look into.
Yeah, and we've got I can't pronounce that one, unfortunately. Thank you. That's the one. So we obviously got that as well from Aaron, which is once again another great one to look at. And just jumping back across the mark, obviously men's mental health, a huge topic. Why can't men suffer too? Surprising the strength you gain and support from to the general chats and to the other people.
Yeah,
it is right, and obviously it's something which, as a community, we are there. Callum, you're there to talk to people, to sell products, of course, but you are there as a pillar of the community. Andy, yourself, once again, another pillar of the community, and it's something which, I mean, altogether, we can be there for people, not just sort of mentally, but as company owners, be there to help these new companies coming through, give them the advice, be part of the UK Beard Portal, and obviously just progress from there, which I think is key to create a supporting community. And one last one, obviously from Bearded Brit, Tony, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, trying to find a cure for type 1 diabetes. Another fantastic suggestion. So,
going off the back of what Mark just said as well, alongside mental health, so he says, surprising the strength you gain from support and general chats to others. In that respect, I couldn't recommend enough joining a beer club. Berserkers, that's my one. Andy's in Villains, Doctors in Rebellion. obviously I can't speak for what goes on in the other chats. I'm assuming it's very similar.
Yeah.
Good bunch of guys talk to each other. It's all about support and everything. In the Berserkers, we've got a big Discord server with different channels. So you can pop into different channels with different things. There's a dedicated mental health one. There's always someone there to talk to. And it's things like that. If you're not in a group like that, I suggest you just fucking join one. Choose one, join it, crack on.
I can't agree with you more, mate. I think it's one of the best things I've done. It's great. It's not just the actual bearded, groups and clubs we're with. I find it's like our chat group. We've got my Beard Things one. I'm sure you've got your one for your brand. That it's just having groups of guys just to chat to and help each other. Because you always need someone to fucking talk to. Like sometimes that's all it needs is just someone to chat to about. Someone that's going to be impartial and try and help you out with it. It's so important. But yeah, anyone who's not part of the Beard Club, just get involved. There are many of them. I'm part of Villains. It's great, and all I've heard is good things about all the other ones as well. So apart from don't join the what's it called?
TBS, what are they called? I mean, if you join that one, you're just looking to get scammed and become an ambassador.
Yeah.
So don't fucking bother.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's joining a club, not a pyramid sales scheme. These clubs that we're all part of, they're non-profit. They're all helping charities and they're helping each other. There's no ulterior motive to them. It's just a win-win. Get involved.
Yeah, definitely. From Aaron, do you share the links on social media? Aaron, you're gonna have to drop me a second comment about that. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about.
Is that links to the clubs or to our brands?
Either way, if you want links to the brands, you've got Callum from the Bald Viking, Andy from Beard Things. So we have the baldviking.co.uk if you do want to jump onto Callum's website, or if you do want to jump onto Andy's, it is beardtings with an s.co.uk. Do make sure.
Thanks for that.
It is not a problem. Do make sure. Yeah, if you jump onto the one with a Z, then it's a completely different story. So he was just saying to the clubs. So I haven't got the social media links at the moment. However, I tell you what, Aaron, if you drop myself, Callum, and Andy a message, we'll happily talk to you about any of them. Once again, you've got myself, who I'm part of the Bearded Rebellion. You have Andy, who is part of the Bearded Villains, and you have Callum, who is part of Berserker Beards. Like I said, all of them are fantastic in their own right. They all do sort of charity events. They all sort of have that sort of brethren type of sort of mentality where they all sort of look after each other. They give you advice and sort of progress from there. And they all have their own sort of dedicated areas where if you are suffering from mental health, there are options there. You have sort of gay LBQT chats, gamer chats, sort of all these sort of different options which are available for yourselves there. So like I said, make sure you either drop us a message or, like I said, just have a look for the Bearded Rebellion, the Bearded Villains, or Berserker Beards, and then you can go from there. But right, gentlemen, we are at our pretty much 2-hour mark, so we are going to be. It has gone quick, so we're going to be bringing it to a close for tonight. So, Callum, I want to say a big, massive thank you for coming on tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Andy, once again, as always, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on board.
Cheers, bro. Always good fun. Just one quick one before I go. Yep. Got today and tomorrow left of special offer. You can buy just one beard oil. You can buy whatever you want. Any order up until Sunday midnight gets a free 100ml beard cleanser. There you go.
There you go. So we do have another podcast coming up, which will be on the first Saturday in June. That is going to be with Damo for show,
awesome.
which you're going to have to double check on your Instagram, have a look through him. He is he's an amazing bloke. He does a lot with the beard competitions. He's done quite a lot with iBeard Club, and he's just a really knowledgeable bloke. So he'd be really great to get on board. So make sure you're going to be joining with us for that podcast, and we can progress from there. So once again, everyone, thank you for coming with us tonight. Andy, sign us out, please, mate.
As usual, stay safe, stay bearded. Peace out.